In module 108, we will discuss from teaching to learning, key concepts and foundational principles. Because there is paradigm shift in the concepts in the teaching learning process or the educational process. This is what we are going to discuss in this module. Basically, the concept or the main thrust of this unit is, or this module is, that which component of this process is important. Either we should focus first on the teaching and then to the learning, or the learning should be the first one and the teaching should be the second one or the next to the learning. The modern researches and the modern approaches say that the focus should be the learning. Then in the initial stages and the initial researches and the older concepts say that the teaching is important and the teaching should be the number one, and the focus was the teaching, and as a resultant of the teaching was the learning. Now there is the shift from the concept of teaching to learning. Now it is focuses on the learning. So that's why the title of this model is From Teaching to Learning, Key Concepts and the Foundational Principles. We know that the teaching learning process is basically based on the pedagogy. Pedagogy mixes or intermingles the teaching and the learning process. Basically, pedagogy is how to teach the students, how to engage the students. So, and there are different ways and means of engaging the students. Now the concept in the modern days, the concept of the active pedagogy has emerged, and active pedagogy has different benefits, and that develops metacognitions in which individual students or the learner analyzes his concepts and simultaneously reflects upon what he or she is doing, either to what extent it is correct. Then active pedagogy serves diverse intelligences and they promote learnings, and it is student driven, and it improves the rigor, and it develops literal skills, supports universal design. So these are the benefits of the active learning. And there are different ways of designing active learning. Basically, how to design active learning. Number one, for active learning, we have to frame questions. And for the questions, through questions, we have to assess the students. Then we have to evaluate the student and the learning process critically. And in other way, we can say that for active learning, it is based on the design and the active pedagogies that are project or the activities, the research-based learning in which the student participate and research and then make authentic inquiries. Secondly, because of the information technology and the new innovations in the teaching learning process, then the flipped classroom, that the student participate by exploring topics in the greater depth, and then student participate in classroom interactions. These are the key concepts and the foundational principles for the basic process of shifting from teaching to learning. How the paradigm is shifting from teaching to learning? And basically it was said that the teacher is the one who has command on the knowledge, who is the sage of the stage. When he comes at the stage, there is the pin drop silence, everyone listens, and everyone is fully concentrated upon and supposed to just listen, and the teacher is supposed to talk. So this was the older concept, and that is also considered as the stereotype and traditional concept of the teaching and learning, and also in the curriculum designing. So, and the student don't simply, in this way, the student don't simply learn, and they become just a vacuum. They just, when they don't participate, this is a very important shift in the concept, because when the teacher is the competent, but he is not engaging student by one or other way. There's the long list of the methods and the procedures and strategies and approaches of engaging students for inculcating specific concepts, specific outcomes, specific contents, specific skills. That is important thing. And it is worth remembering that the students are endeavoring to grasp concepts, theories, and ways of seeing which are particularly to their discipline. For instance, in other words, learning is importantly relational, so that it's not just justified that you start saying things and the different concepts with varied level of your approach, your depth of the knowledge, with the varied level of the learning and the students' background and individual differences. So it's not easy. Current perspective of the student learning. Current perspective is very important. We have to consider it as the digital technologies, information technologies. Everything is digitalized. Everyone has access. Most of the people, students, the youngers, the kids have the access to the modern technologies. So that is very important. That gives a formation, that gives the concept, that becomes the paradigm shift, that how the learning is taking place. Basically, the learner's activity is based on the central idea of the knowledge, whether it is seen as possessed by the individual or distributed within the community. It's very important. This has important implications for the ways in which teaching is accomplished. As far as the shift from teaching to learning is concerned, that I have been explaining it, that is the paradigm shift, and the older concept was focused on the teaching, and the latest concept focus on the teaching. This is the paradigm shift, and basically this is because of the constructivist approach in the learning, in the educational process. Yeah, and it should be active and reflective, social. It is a social phenomena that everyone had the equal opportunity to participate in the single activity, and context related means where all have already in advance agreed upon that what to discuss and what is the already explored or already agreed upon the concepts, and strategic, and in what way they have to handle and go ahead, and it is a participative. There are the approaches of learning paradigm. There are two basically approach. One is the deep learners learning, are the deep learners, and other are surface learners. And the deep learners basically they actively participate in constructing knowledge, and the surface are basically passive learners, and that they give the meanings to the material. They construct the meanings. The other one, the passive are the surface learners. They do not they fail to the information to larger framework. They do not understand the things. Focus on the internal rewards, they go deeper, and other one, the surface learners do not. And the deep learners are self-motivated, and the surface learners are focused on the external rewards. They don't go deeper into the situation. And there is the need of the constructivist alignment between what? Alignment between the teaching and the learning. If they are both equal or with the same parity, then the educational process means the teaching and the learning will go very efficiently and the purposefully and the meaningfully, and will be based on the results, that desirable results rather. Student engagement in this process is very important, because we are talking about shift from teaching to learning. The main thrust of this paradigm is engaging the students. Students has to be engaged. Student has to be involved. Students has to be made participative for creating the concepts that are supposed to be taught by the teachers. There are 7 principles of engaging the students. One is encouragement to the students, and the promoting active learning techniques, and how to promote and what are the promotional activities. Developing cooperation and the reciprocity between students, emphasizing time and task, and giving prompt feedback to the students. Otherwise, students will be waiting, and the level of the interest, level of the motivation, with the level of the curiosity will be down, and their level of the curiosity, when it is down, then level of the learning will be definitely with a similar level decreased. Communicating high expectations, but the teacher should show them the expectation that I expect from this one. Teacher should have the higher standards that must be shared with the students. Respecting diversity in talent and ways of the learning. There are different factors for the successful learning. How the successful learning is possible? One is wanting. in which something is intrinsic. There are two basically factors for the motivation of the students: intrinsic factor and extrinsic factor. For one thing, the teacher has to create a focus on the intrinsic factors. Learning by doing. Teacher should engage the students, give them an activity so that they should conceive the thing, they should perceive the thing, they should give the meanings to the new situations. Learn through feedback. Students should be provided timely feedback, positive feedback, constructive feedback, encouraging feedback, critical feedback, in a way that the student should know what is the strength and what is the weaknesses, making sense of the things. Student should be able that they mm, should be very expressive and creative. Okay, what does this mean? What it means effective communication. Verbalizing or orally means speaking to others face to face. This is one of the good way of engaging the students and active learning. And assessing how students make informed judgment. The students have different ways, different levels of their cognitive levels, individual differences, emotional levels. So that the teacher has to engage and a teacher has to assess their level. And on this base, we can say that with the changing and the shift of the basically paradigm shift from teaching to learning, and this is called the game changing, and the processes and the processes and the skills and the theories and the laws are changed, evolution laws are changes, delivery laws are changes, curriculum design laws are changes. So making these things happen, the teacher has to understand both the concepts and to justify the approaches of teaching as well as the learning.